exploit every chance you will ever get. You might actually never get it again. I've had a lot of experience with this saying, mostly because I've had a lot of chances. My mom found this robotics course, if you could call it that. It's very close to this school, and now I spend most of my Saturdays there. It's very fun. I also took a chance to sign up for TEDxYouth RIS. That chance was given to me by Miss April. Now I'm standing here on the stage, talking to all of you dear viewers. And speaking of you, you also took the chance to get the tickets to come to this event, unless your children have reserved the tickets for you, as was the case with my parents. But there are more things we can apply this to than just this. The example I chose because it's a rather prominent problem, and it's becoming a reality in science fiction. It's the fact that we need clean energy. Because fossil fuels, which for now I'm going to call dirty energy, they're running out. And I call them dirty energy because they're bad for the environment. But I said previously that this might become a reality because it's already happening in science fiction. So I'm going to try not to make that happen. Oil, fossil fuels, etc. They are our chance, and they're running out as time passes. And aside from all of us humans and our daily needs, fossil fuels are needed to make solar panels, or solar cells, depending on what you want to call them, but it requires fossil fuels as an ingredient, similar to how you in bakery, you have a cookbook, and in the ingredients list, it says like eggs, flour, etc. And when you reach a certain step, it says mix them all together in a bowl, blend them with a blender. It says to use a blender, but the blender isn't included in the ingredients list. Normally, fossil fuels serves as the blender. They're used to make it, but they're not part of the thing. But in this case, solar panels use fossil fuels directly, and they're included in the ingredients list. And they take up lots of space, like lots of space. And because of this, they end up being rather inefficient. In fact, they're the least efficient form of electricity production relative to their size, because obviously a planet covered with them would produce more energy than like a bonfire. But the next energy source on our list is becoming a favorite of governments looking for a clean energy source, because it's more efficient. It's the wind turbine. My dad is also being contracted to build, or at least carry the parts for, said wind turbines. His most recent work has been down south in Thailand, in the province of Korat, and it produces 1.25% of Thailand's energy as of April 2015. Also, this is not related to clean energy. I'm going to sidetrack to an opportunity I have, which my dad mentioned, to go actually learn about engineering and stuff at his friends' companies. So I'm rather happy when that chance actually comes. But returning to clean energy, wind turbines take up more space during construction than the finished product, but this is more on the nitpicky side. I know this mostly because my dad's complained about it a handful of times. Before we move on, shout out to my parents. Come on, raise your hands. Please, come on, raise your hands higher. Both of you. The next energy source is the hydroelectric power plant. They're simply called dams because the other name is kind of long. Okay. However, they require a huge amount of resources. In China, when they're building these, sometimes they have to move the people out just so there's room for the actual construction, as well as the finished product. However, they produce a huge amount of energy, so after I'm done, you can debate whether or not it's worth it after I'm done. But the next and last energy source I'm going to talk about for a while is, honestly, I will admit, my favorite. It's called nuclear fusion. It runs on two forms of hydrogen. The reactor is shaped like a donut, and it fuses two forms of hydrogen together to make plasma, and it's contained with magnets. This reactor works kind of like having a reactor that runs on a miniaturized star, like almost. The reaction is the same, however it's smaller so it can be actually controlled. But, however, this form of energy source is on the more experimental side. This is not being used in any form yet. It has the potential to produce a lot of power, because come on, a reactor that runs on a star. But the reaction has never been sustained for more than a handful of seconds. So, as long as this remains unfinished, I might actually invest in this as a career path. So, yay. But whatever we choose to do, we have to do it fast. Not like fast, like couple months fast. Nothing. You can't just do something like this that fast. But we have to at least try. Germany's planning to make at least their capital completely running on renewable energy by 2040, if I remember correctly. Maybe 50, but almost certainly 40. In fact, these aren't the energy sources, like not the only ones that exist. Another one is geothermal energy. It runs by tapping the power of heat from the magma beneath the Earth's surface. Also, honorable mention, geothermal energy almost made the list for the script. Anyway, this one chance thing, it doesn't apply to something this maybe even far-fetched. In fact, you actually have to, the thing you have to eat food before it spoils. There's like a tag that labels like when the food, you have to eat it before when or else it will spoil. Yeah, that's a chance you have to take. They put that label there so you can eat the food before it spoils. But returning to clean energy, whatever we choose to do, I think we should do it a little bit faster. Because we have to build a new light before we go dark into the night forever. I'm going to try not to make that happen. If you would join me, I'd actually appreciate that. Thank you.